Yeah. Hello everybody, this is Comm with us.
This is Jasmine.
And this is Kendall. Hello. And today this video is going to be a little bit different. We're going to be doing kind of a podcast / YouTube video style. So we're going to be inserting a lot of images and screenshots for you guys to kind of visually follow along.
So today we're going to be talking about the 7 habits of highly effective people, and this is based on a book written by Stephen Covey, and it was written based on Covey's belief that the way that we see the world is entirely based on our own perceptions, and in order to change a given situation, we must change ourselves, and in order to change ourselves, we must be able to change our perceptions.
So this book is a very popular book, and a lot of people, know about this book. My father actually has this book, and he had passed it down to me, and we thought that this would be a good tool for you guys to, use. Highly recommend picking the book up, actually, but this is just going to be a quick summary of the 7 points that he wants to make, or that he does make, and we want you guys to kind of use this for your future endeavors within your careers, life after college. And so we're just going to jump right into it.
Okay, so the first habit is be proactive. Second is begin with the end in mind. 3 is put first things first. 4 is think win-win. 5th is seek first to understand, then to be understood. 6 is synergize. 7 is sharpen the saw.
And then a more in-depth summary of these 7 habits are going to be habits 1, 2, and 3 are focused on self-mastery and moving from dependence to independence. Habits 4, 5, and 6 are focused on developing teamwork, collaboration, and communication skills, and moving from independence to interdependence. And habit 7 is focused on continuous growth and improvement and embodies all of the other habits. And so now we're going to go into each habit specifically, and we're going to mainly go over just the key takeaways for you guys, because this book is 400 and something pages long, so that'd be a lot to summarize for you guys in the short amount of time that we have. So we're going to just quickly go over them. Jasmine will start.
So the first habit is be proactive. So basically, this is to challenge yourself to test the principle of proactivity by doing the following. So you start replacing reactive language with proactive language. So an example of reactive would be, he makes me so mad. And an example of proactive, which you should change, is I control my own feelings. So you would convert the reactive task into proactive act.
So the second habit is begin with the end in mind. So he recommends to challenge yourself to test the principle of beginning with the end in mind by doing the said following. So first of all, you want to visualize in reach detail your own funeral. Sounds pretty dark, but I mean, surely it works. So I want you, the viewer, to picture your own funeral. Who is there? What are they saying about you? How you lived your life, about the relationships you had. What do you want them to say? Think about how your priorities would change if you only had 30 more days to live. Start living by these priorities. So that kind of sets the bar a little bit, right? And then 2, you're going to break down different roles in your life, whether professional, personal, or community, and list 3 to 5 goals you want to achieve for each. So I thought this is actually really interesting, especially because we're college students and we're kind of, some of us are seniors or, whatnot, and we're kind of thinking more along the lines of what's going to happen after I graduate. And so this is a good way to kind of visualize your future, I think. So list 3 to 5 goals you want to achieve for each. And then 3rd, the final, is going to be to define what scares you. Is it public speaking? Is it critical feedback after writing a book? Write down the worst case scenario for your biggest fear, and then visualize how you'll handle the situation. Write down exactly how you'll handle it.
The 3rd one is put first things first. So some of the ways you can practice putting first things first is, I'm gonna insert kind of a little chart about different quadrants. So first is to identify a quadrant 1 activity or 2 activity you've been neglecting. So write it down and commit to implementing it. And then you're gonna want to create your own time management matrix to start prioritizing it. And then you're gonna want to estimate how much time you want to spend for each quadrant. Then log your time over 3 days. So how accurate is your estimate? How much time do you want to spend, or do you spend in quadrant 2, the most important quadrant?
All right, we're moving on to the 4th habit. So that is think win-win. So Covey explains, or Covey, I'm not really sure how you pronounce it, explains that there are 6 paradigms of human interaction. The first one is win-win. Both people win. Agreements or solutions are mutually beneficial and satisfying to both parties. Number 2, win-lose. If I win, you lose. Win-lose people are prone to use position, power, credentials, and personality to get their way. Number 3, lose-win. I lose, you win. Lose-win people are quickly to please and appease and seek strength from popularity or acceptance. Number 4 is lose-lose. Both people lose. When 2 win-lose people get together, that is, when 2 determined, stubborn, ego-invested individuals interact, the result will be a lose-lose. Number 5, win. People with the win mentality don't necessarily want someone else to lose. That's irrelevant. What matters is that they get what they want. Number 6, win-win or no deal. If you can't reach an agreement that is mutually beneficial, there is no deal. So get yourself to start thinking win-win with these 3 challenges. First, you want to think about upcoming interaction when you'll be attempting to reach an agreement or solution. Write down a list of what the other person is looking for. Next, write a list next to that of how you can make an offer to meet those needs. Number 2, identify 3 important relationships in your life. Think about what you feel the balances in each of those relationships. Do you give more than you take? Take more than you give? Write down 10 ways to always give more than you take with each one. And then 3rd, deeply consider your own interaction tendencies. Are they win-lose? How does that affect your interactions with others? Can you identify the source of that approach? Determine whether or not this approach serves you well in your relationships. Write all of these down.
Okay, so the 5th one is seek first to understand, then to be understood. So when we listen autobiographically, in other words, with our own perspective as our frame of reference, we tend to respond in one of 4 ways. So the first way would be to evaluate, which is agree or disagree with what is said. 2 is to probe, so ask questions about our own frame of reference. 3 is to advise, give counsel based on our own experience. 4th is to interpret, try to figure out the person's motive and behavior based on our own motives and behavior. So the next time you are watching 2 people communicating, cover your ears and watch. What emotions are being communicated that might not come across through words alone? Was one person or the other more interested in the conversation? Write down what you noticed. Or next time you give a presentation, root it in empathy. Begin by describing the audience point of view in great detail. What problems are they facing? How is what you're about to say offering a solution to their problems?
For the 6th habit, it is synergize. And synergy allows you to value the differences in other people as a way to expand your perspective, sidestep negative energy, and look for the good in others. Exercise courage in interdependent situations to be open and encourage others to be open. Catalyze creativity and find a solution that will be better for everyone by looking for a 3rd alternative. So that's kind of a summary of synergy. And the key lessons to take away from that is to first make a list of people who irritate you. Now choose just one person. How are their views different? Put yourself in their shoes for 1 minute. Think and pretend how it feels to be them. Does this help you understand them better? Now, next time you are in a disagreement with a person, try to understand their concerns and why they disagree with you. The better you can understand them, the easier it will be to change their mind or change yours. And then 2, make a list of people with whom you get along well. Now choose just one person. How are their views different? Now write down a situation where you had an excellent teamwork and synergy. Why? What conditions were met to reach such fluidity in your interactions, and how can you recreate those conditions again?
The 7th and final habit is sharpen the saw. So there are 4 dimensions of our nature, and each must be exercised regularly and in balanced ways. So the first one is physical dimension, which is the goal of continuous physical improvement is to exercise the body in a way that will enhance our capacity to work, adapt, and enjoy. To renew ourselves physically, we must eat well, get sufficient rest and relaxation, exercise on a daily basis to build endurance, flexibility, and strength. Focusing on the physical dimension helps develop habit 1, muscles of proactivity. React based on the value of well-being instead of reacting to the forces that keep us from fitness. The next one is spiritual dimension, which is the goal of renewing our spiritual self is to provide leadership to our life and reinforce your commitment to our value system. To renew yourself spiritually, you can practice daily meditation, communicate with nature, immerse yourself in great literature or music. A focus on our spiritual dimension helps us practice habit 2, which is or as we continuously revise and commit ourselves to our values, so we can begin with the end in mind. The next one is mental dimension, which is the goal of renewing our mental health is to continues expanding our mind. To renew yourself mentally, you can read good literature, keep a journal of your thoughts, experiences, insights, limit television watching to only those programs that will enrich your life and mind. Focusing on our mental dimension helps us practice habit 3 by managing ourselves effectively to maximize the use of our time and resources. The next dimension is social and emotional. The goal of that is, or the goal of renewing ourselves socially is to develop meaningful relationships. So to renew yourself emotionally, you can seek to deeply understand other people, make contributions to meaningful projects that will improve the lives of others. So maintain an abundance mentality and seek to help others find success.
All right, so that is it for the 7 habits of highly effective people. We hope you guys, really look at this information and use it. There's a lot of requests from this video, like write down, what Jasmine just mentioned, ways to renew yourself. So maybe, you pause this video a few times and just jot down some ideas that you might have. We hope you guys really like this video, and we will see you for our final video in
like 2 weeks?
Yeah, very soon.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. This is Comm with Us.
Yeah.